Good morning and welcome to Media Radio. You just listened to Throne by Bring Me the Horizon, which features on their brand new compilation album, BMTH. They have just released a music video for this song, and today's special guest is Bronwyn Vaughan, who worked alongside them to produce this incredible video. Please welcome Bronwyn.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, could you identify for us the main different characters, events, or issues within the music video?
The two central protagonists of this music video are the lead singer of Bring Me the Horizon and the female protagonist who features in the narrative parts of the video. There are also the other four members of the band. One of the main events in the music video I would consider to be the scene where the female character hits the lead singer during their fight, and this scene has a lot of aspects that can be discussed. Some issues that can be discussed would include the representation of gender social groups and perhaps the lack of diversity within the video.
Great! So how exactly does this music video represent different social groups and lifestyles? And what values and ideologies are you promoting?
In this music video, we really wanted to give a realistic representation of a young couple in a relationship. To do so, the costume and jewelry of the lead singer, band members and females is not overly extravagant. There are no big expensive brands shown on clothing or shoes, as we wanted these characters to be relatable to the fans. We wanted to demonstrate to the fans that the band are very humble and down to earth. The female characters' costumes are very significant as well, again, as they are very accessible and would be easy to recreate for the female fans. I think that because of this, the female fans will also be able to easily relate to this character.
Could you go into more detail on the specific ways in which the lead singer has been represented?
The lead singer frequently uses direct mode of address during this music video, which is when someone looks directly into the camera. This allows the fans to feel closer to him as well as being able to read his emotions. His facial expressions are often sad or angry, and he rarely smiles in this video. This is due to the video being about a relationship that ends badly. We wanted to have his character portraying a lot of emotion, as it is stereotypically women who are represented as emotional and men who are strong. However, we wanted to challenge this to give the male fans a message and break down the stigma. He is also seen cooking in this video, which is another counter type that we present, as it would typically be the female character cooking.
While creating this music video, have any stereotypical representations been generated?
We tried to avoid this as much as possible. However, as the band is all male, there were 5 male characters and only 1 female one. As there was an equal balance between narrative and performance, but the female character was not in the performance, she therefore appeared less, which does in a way reflect the stereotype that women have a less important role than men. This stereotype is linked to Levi Strauss's theory of binary opposition. In this case, you could say that the male characters are being focused on more than the female one, therefore are more important, creating a binary opposition between the two genders.
In a previous interview with us, you spoke about Laura Mulvey. Could you explain to us briefly her male gaze theory?
The male gaze theory argues that women are represented to provide visual pleasure to men, and this theory is arguably reflected in many music videos today.
So what do you think Mulvey would say about your production?
You cannot say that this music video reflects the male gaze, as the female character is not objectified in any way. So I think Mulvey would like that aspect of this music video. However, I do think she could argue that the female character is just there to support the male role, rather than having a plot or storyline of her own.
Are there any more theories that you did not include in the video but find interesting to talk about?
A theory that I find very interesting but did not reflect in this video is Judith Butler's theory of performativity of gender. She is a queer theorist who argues that there is no natural male or female way of being, but instead we are conditioned or socialized to behave in a conventionally male or female way. I think that there are many arguments surrounding this theory, but that it's something very difficult to portray in a music video.
Are there any intertextual references in this music video?
Well, we did not deliberately include any intertextuality in our music video. However, Baudrillard, a postmodern philosopher, would argue that we live in such a media-saturated world, we cannot perceive anything without unconsciously processing signifiers we've already encountered in the media. He also coined the term simulacra, which essentially is a representation of a representation in a long chain. Scenes such as where the female character hits the male character could be a simulacra, or perhaps even the cross tattoo on the lead singer's neck.
In more depth, could you talk about any issues that you may, intentionally or not, have touched upon?
I believe that unintentionally we touched upon the issue of representation. We did not portray characters of varied ethnicities or sexualities or physical disabilities. We failed also to represent characters below the age of 17 or above the age of 20, and there was arguably a lack of female characters in the video. However, this was not a conscious choice and we had extremely limited casting options.
That's all the questions we have for you today. Thanks for joining our show!